Welcome. Hello, everyone. As you're joining, we're going to get started here in a moment, but as you're joining, we would love to hear where you're joining from. I see lots of familiar names here. Diane is here. Has Beth joined yet? Not yet. She probably will be here. Come on in. We are going to be talking about the Divine Woman, our newest, it's a new launch, but it's a re-release, which we'll get into here. Amazing. California, San Antonio, Fort Myers, Seattle, Southern California, Virginia, Boulder. Ooh, I'm about to be in Boulder in a few weeks. Mississippi. Amazing. Oh, welcome back, Kay. Pennsylvania. Come on in. We're going to get started here in a moment. We are talking about our Divine Woman Elixir today. And I love getting to talk about this oil. This is a really unique oil of ours. So it's not all that often that I get to really dive into the Divine Woman. California. And as you're joining, people are just sharing where they're joining from. So you can pop that in the chat. We're just kicking it off here. I'm here in the Midwest, so I'm here in Kansas City. And nice and sunny today. It's a little bit cloudy. But I was saying on our one of our consultations that it's like I was outside the other day and it started to feel a little bit chilly. And I was like, fall. Fall's around the corner. Where summer's kind of winding down. All right, Fort Worth, Texas, California. Amazing. So why don't we dive in here? People are going to kind of keep trickling in. First, I want to introduce the oil, just high level, and then I'm going to have Grace come in and tell us what our promos are because we always do promos. We always do fun things with the live calls and the product launches. You might notice that Rachel is not here. Rachel is off this month. She takes time off during the summer to be with her little one, so she's off with her little one, her baby, and she'll be back probably for the next live event. I don't remember when the live event next one is, but I think she's going to be back for it. So just being Grace today. But we're talking about the Divine Woman, okay? So a facial oil, a new facial oil, and kind of a re-released facial oil. The Divine Woman, just as an introductory here, is an oil that we make from herbs that are grown on Kevin and Annmarie's property. So we'll dive into a little bit more about what that is, but this oil is an oil that we release every year. It is released in a limited quantity. This is a limited edition oil. So we release, I think, about 500. I think we've already had, I don't remember, 200 or so that were either snagged or we're expecting to go with the wait list head count. So it's one that goes fast, but we release this limited edition because we are harvesting the herbs from Kevin and Annmarie's property. So it's a smaller batch. It's super fresh. Love the feel of it. Love the finish of it. We'll get into all of that. But Grace, do you want to come in? First of all, tell us who you are, and then tell us what we are offering with the Divine Woman today.
Yes, thanks, Kate. Hi, everyone. I'm Grace. You may have seen me in some consultations or other live events. I am the digital marketing coordinator here at Annmarie, and I just love it so much. I am also in Seattle, which I saw someone in the chat is also in Seattle. Hello, hi, nice to see you. Nice to see a neighbor in here. It is very cloudy today, and when I went outside, it kind of feels like rain, which usually I would love, but today I would love for it to just like hold off a little bit. I have things outside that cannot be rained on, aka my clothes. So it'd be nice if the sun can come in. But for our promos today, I will go ahead and put them in the chat right now. But we are offering 20% off the Divine Woman Elixir in celebration of its launch. And the code for that is ASC Divine Live, which is in the chat. And the code is live until midnight tonight on Pacific. So you do have some time to shop. But I think that's really about it. But if you have any questions, feel free to direct message me in the chat and I'm happy to help.
Yay, thank you. I always love when I see somebody from Kansas City and like if I'm like emailing back and forth, I'm like, is it creepy to tell them I know their neighborhood or do we just do they like it? I never know. Of course, feels a little bit different when we're all doing this live here, but we're talking about the Divine Woman. So let me first talk about Moss Creek Farm. This is the oil. And we're harvesting our herbs from Moss Creek Farm. So, what is Moss Creek Farm? Moss Creek Farm is this little kind of farmlet. It's like a mini farm that is on Kevin and Annmarie's property. Now, Kevin and Annmarie are our owners. You may have put that together with the company name here. But Kevin and Annmarie own our company, are deeply involved, obviously, with the company, and they have their own property. And Annmarie she actually has like three different gardens. She has the skincare garden, she has the food garden, and then she's got like the medicinal garden. And so she grows over the course of the year herbs in her skincare garden that we then harvest and utilize in specific products. Now, when I say we, I mean Annmarie harvests this, Kevin helps harvest this. Sometimes their kids are in there harvesting it, but it's a very, very intimate process. They are very, I mean, obviously in touch with their land, how the plants are growing, how the plants are growing over the season, and then the harvesting. When we have Annmarie harvesting the herbs, we kind of get to jump over the middleman of the supplier. So when she's providing herbs for us for this product, they're incredibly fresh. Yeah, incredibly fresh. So Moss Creek Farm, when we first kind of launched and created this partnership with Creek Farm, we have had this intention to be part of, to foster, and to start this seed to skin movement. So as much as we're able, being very intimately involved with the plant as it's grown from seed and all the way through the process as it becomes this final facial oil. Now, if you've been an Annmarie skincare customer for a while, you've probably seen that we have had other Moss Creek Farm products. We've had the facial oil, we have had a body scrub. For a while, we were kind of trying our hand at different products because we were like, oh, it's just every season we'll launch a new product and it'll be this will be the Moss Creek Farm product. This will be our part of that, collection. And then we were finding with this oil, this was one of our first launches, was that a lot of people loved it. A lot of feedback came in that was like, where is it? Are you going to launch it again? What was in it? How can we get this product? For great reason. So as it's evolved, Moss Creek Farm, as we're harvesting these herbs and bringing them in to create a product, year over year, we are making the Divine Woman Elixir. This is the facial oil here, the Divine Woman Elixir. Um, what's really cool, sweet, awesome, Annmarie, if you've ever been on a call with Annmarie or you get the chance to be on a call with Annmarie, please do. She's got this really intuitive way of connecting with the earth and connecting with the plants. And a lot of the dialogue that we have had as we've talked about our harvesting of the herbs is that year over year, it's going to look different because this is happening in her little farm. Some years there's going to be more of one herb, some years there might be less of another herb. How Annmarie has, kind of framed that, what she's offered to me is basically like trusting the earth to be offering what our customers are going to need. And so having this very intuitive relationship with the plants and what the needs will be of our customer base. So that's a little bit about Moss Creek Farm. Now, the Divine Woman Elixir itself is a facial oil. So this is a moisturizing step. This is kind of, your last step before sunscreen that you're applying to help to moisturize the skin. We're still using an organic jojoba, which is an anchor of many of our facial oils. But then the herbs that we're steeping into this jojoba, of course, are the herbs that Annmarie is growing. Annmarie has grown. These are herbs like calendula. These are herbs like feverfew. In the past, we've had St. John's wort. This year is a perfect example of things being different because we don't have the St. John's wort. This formula is made without St. John's wort. So if you've tried the Divine Woman Elixir before, the heart of it is the same, but the exact formulation is going to be changing year over year over year. So no St. John's wort in this current seasonal, this harvest, but the feel of it. So it is a moisturizing oil. This one is great for dry skin with that jojoba base. I particularly like this for dry skin, skin that's seeing signs of aging, so fine lines, creasing, and skin that can be sensitive. Because we've got the calendula, because we've got this feverfew, the feel of this on the skin can help to really kind of soothe some activation. There's also some rose in here, and if we've hung out on any of our consultation or live calls, you know that rose is a floral that's known for staving off and softening signs of aging. The scent profile of this one, it's got this nice kind of light herbal scent to it. You get a little touch of the floral with some of the rose there, but it's just nice and light. One of the things that I notice when I use the Divine Woman is how fresh it feels. The analogy that I'll often provide is that, if you're somebody who eats eggs, if you get eggs from a farm compared to eggs at a store, there's a different level of freshness to it. Oftentimes the yolks are a little bit more golden and the taste of them is a little bit different. And so that kind of rings true here. And I don't want to put the other oils down because, again, if you've hung out on our calls, I'm a facial oil lover for sure. But this one just feels fresh. This is a very fresh feeling oil, the Divine Woman. Now, I mentioned, of course, this is one that is limited edition. We do often sell through it pretty quickly, so it's not uncommon when you're investing in this, especially if you know that you like it, to get more than one. We might have a limit at two. Grace, is there a limit on this? No, not right now, but we're watching you. Um, in the past, we've done limits with some of them because we do just release the small batches. So I'm going to pause and I see some questions coming in the chat. I want to answer some of these, and then we'll just keep talking about them. Okay, okay, okay. How many times a year does it come out? It comes out once a year. Yeah, we release this every August, and then usually in the past it's been kind of either before or around holiday that this is sold through. Um, it seems to go faster with time because people try it and like it, and then they're seeing that it's launched again, so they invest again. Um, but it could be a similar time frame. So we do just release this once a year, the Divine Woman. So, um, where geographically is the farm? Yeah, Grace has gotten that one. So, Kevin and Annmarie's farm is in Connecticut. And yeah, she and Kevin and their family are who tend to that. I think that they had like volunteers, like some kids that were volunteering in the past. But it's very familial. It's very like heart-centered, their little farm and the farmlet. I didn't get into the soil. I want to come back to this soil here, but I want to keep answering these questions. Indy has asked, how long is the shelf life of this oil? So this one, I think yeah, this has a 2-year shelf life, approximately 2 years. It's 2 years past the bottle date. Yeah, August of 2027 is when this one goes. So you've got 2 years with this one. You can always extend the shelf life of our products by storing them in the fridge. So if it's one that you're like, I'm obsessed with, I want to make sure I have enough of, you could get a couple. But I suspect that you would still be able to use these up before the expiration date came. Beth is so excited. Yay, Beth is here. I was looking when everybody was joining. I was like, I wonder if Beth is joining today. Um, let's see. Okay, cool. Grace has linked out a link to check out Moss Creek Farm. So if this has piqued your interest and you want to look into it further or look at some pictures, you can do that by clicking on that link here. Diane has asked, what skin issues does it address better than your other products, aging, lines, etc.? That's a really good question. So I think I would be careful with saying that it is better. I don't know that it's necessarily better. It's definitely akin. I think what's really different about this is the freshness of it. And the way that it kind of appeals to dry and sensitive skin with the herbs that are utilized in this one. Now, with the final blend of this one is great for softening signs of aging. When we were first launching this one, this was the first one we launched, and then we did a couple other rogue products, and then came back to this one. And I was doing some calls with Annmarie. We were talking about the naming of it, the Divine Woman Elixir. And it's not to dive into it too far, but it's always been a little bit of a source of not quite contention, but a noticing that our most popular products are oftentimes the anti-aging eye cream, anti-aging facial oil, anti-aging skin serum. And we are not necessarily an anti-aging brand. We're very pro-aging. And so this was kind of part of this journey was like the Divine Woman is about like being in your power, standing with yourself as you are, and supporting your skin as it ages. Now, the next question that always comes is like, why don't you change the names of the anti-aging products? And the reason is because a lot of people find us by searching anti-aging organic online. And so, so far, these have been our gateway products. But the Divine Woman is supporting softening signs of aging. So fine lines, creasing, it helps to support kind of the resiliency and the sustenance of the skin. And then with these herbs, this is very helpful for, first of all, a potent antioxidant delivery, but also for helping to kind of keep skin nice and soothed with these herbs here. So great question there. Kristen has bought the last version, loved it. Yay! Oh, it's your favorite. I love hearing that. Really love the product. Never lasts that long. So true. Oh, Beth, it's always sold out before you get it. Well, great news. 20% today. Um, I'm just reading through some of these questions. Okay, cool. So Grace has put the promo in there. For those who have joined us again, have joined us since we have started the call, we are offering 20%. 20% on the Divine Woman Elixir today. And the coupon code is ASC Divine Live. And one of the things that I kind of put a pin in as I was answering questions was talking about the soil. So one thing that Annmarie Skincare as a company looks for in its suppliers, but we definitely highlighted when Kevin and Annmarie were kind of creating their farms, is combating soil erosion and soil depletion. So a lot of factory farming for a million things, whether it's for, consumables or topicals, they produce these plants so fast that they deplete all the nutrients in the soil. And then there's kind of this weakened root. And so then there's kind of this erosion that happens to the soil. So one of the big things that was part of the journey with Kevin and Annmarie creating the Divine Woman Elixir. And I might give credit where it's a little more due with Annmarie creating the Divine Woman Elixir. One of the big, parts of the movement was combating the soil depletion and the soil erosion. And so some of the ways that looks is by rotating crops. So they might have half of their little skincare farm growing one year and then moving it to the other half the other year. There's a rotation that happens as they grow things. And I don't work on the farm. I'm not with them on the farm, so it might not be like that. But there's a way that they do it that they are working to make sure that the soil is actually offering nutrients into the plants that are growing, which is pretty important. And like I mentioned, it's a thing that we do look for in our suppliers as well. So when we're getting herbs for any of our products, it's a thing we take note of. But with Annmarie being the kind of, you know, I don't know, the sole person who's working with the cultivation of this, then she's got that much more control over how these grow. Carol has asked, I use the anti-aging facial oil daily. Can this use oil be used with the anti-aging together or used separately? I have very dry skin. That's a really great question. So I think that the oils are perfectly fine to mix together. And you might invest in this one and find that you actually like it better. You might find that you don't, but you can mix the oils together and kind of receive the benefits of both. It's a little different than the serums. Serums I don't usually recommend mixing, but with the oils, yes. So you could mix it together. If you're curious, I think that's a great way to use it. You can also do one in the morning and one in the evening. I personally find that the finishes of the anti-aging oil and the Divine Woman are just a little bit different, although putting it into words is going to be its own kind of challenge. The anti-aging facial oil is very rich. And so what I'm wearing the Divine Woman today, but when I'm wearing the anti-aging, I usually kind of have a little bit more dewiness to the skin. This one is still very, very anti-aging. There's just a little bit of like almost a thinner consistency to it, and kind of a little bit of a golden glow that happens that I find with the Divine Woman. So they do feel different. They do wear a little bit different. Both very, very supportive for dry skin or skin that gets dry. So you definitely could be one that you love. You might find that that's the one that you go for, or you might find that, you still love the anti-aging facial oil, but at least you have tried it. Okay, Darcy's asked, how long does storing the products in the fridge, okay, questions, extend the shelf life? I'm always hesitant to offer because I don't want to set you up for failure, but I will say I have some products in the fridge that expired. I hesitate to tell you that definitely by 2023, maybe 2022. And, when I check in on them, the things I'm looking for are the scent and the consistency, as long as nothing's like clumpy or like just seems like it's chunky, curdled kind of a thing, and the scent still smells okay, I'm at least going to give it a shot. So it can be a couple years. Some of our products, so the eye cream's a really good example. This has a shorter shelf life in general. The eye cream has a year shelf life. And so you might not have that much time that's extended with a product like this, with the eye cream. So return to referencing scent, texture, sometimes color. If the color's gotten really dark or really golden, depending on what you're looking at, that's another indicator that it might not, this might be a little past its shelf life. So that's approximate, but that's what I'm working with right now. I just pulled a citrus stem cell serum out of my fridge that expired in 2023, and it's great. It's good to go. So do with that what you will. That's the best I've got. It's approximate time frame, but you could get a good amount of time. Okay, Barbara Rose or Rose Barbara is trying to order the elixir and says that there is a limit of two. Oh, good to know. Grace, is that a thing we're changing or are we going to leave it with two?
We're gonna leave it with two. I wasn't quite sure
Yeah.
if they put a limit on it this year, but this is something that's done on the very back end, so I don't even know how to go about changing that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, great. So thank you for letting us know that this one does have a limit of two. We do, so in the past and this year too, have the limit around it because we do release this in a limited edition kind of frame. And if you've joined us recently, of course, we're talking about the Divine Woman Elixir. This has been curated, crafted, created with herbs that Annmarie grows herself. And because of that, we often have like a smaller yield than we would if we were just able to buy it from a supplier. And so we make this in kind of a limited edition fashion. I was saying earlier, we usually release about 500, and I think last I had heard or checked, we had got either gone through or 200 had been claimed. So people were waitlisting and adding to the cart. So yeah, it's one that can go fairly quickly. So two looks like your limit. We're cutting you off. If you wanted to go through and do two transactions, I'm sure that would work, but also spread the love. Maybe let some other people try it. Lauren has asked you, call it an elixir. Is it an oil or spray or serum? Which is such a good question. So when we're saying elixir, we're talking about kind of a magical combo of ingredients. This one is an oil. So it is a facial oil. This one is a facial oil that you're using to moisturize the skin. It's not a spray, it's not a serum, though I would love to see those products from the Moss Creek collection. But at least at this point, this is the one that our customers love. So it is a facial oil. So this is your final step before you're applying your sunscreen, using this to moisturize the skin. Um, okay, let's see. Let me go back up, see some questions. Did you say it's also good for sensitive skin due to calendula? Yes. So I want to call out a difference between this oil and our herbal facial oil for sensitive skin. So if you've joined and you have sensitive skin and you're like, oh, is this the one for me? These are different facial oils. Now, the herbal facial oil for sensitive skin is a very slim ingredient composition. It's a little bit lighter weight, and we crafted this with herbs that soothe the skin, similar to the other. What's different about the herbal facial oil for sensitive skin is that there are no added essential oils. So sometimes people who have very sensitive skin, um, excuse me, the essential oils can be a little bit activating. Now, the Divine Woman utilizes herbs that can be helpful for soothing skin. We are not using St. John's wort this year, but we do have feverfew, we do have calendula. There's a whole bevy of them. I want to actually look at it here. Um, and I used to have this all memorized because when we first launched this, actually this is drawing us through the journey into Annmarie's skincare history. I was Annmarie's copywriter, and so I wrote a lot of the copy for the original launch of this. Now, of course, the formula changes a little bit year over year. Comfrey, calendula, pumpkin seed, echinacea, lavender, chamomile, plantain, rose, feverfew, rosehip, red raspberry, holy basil. So a lot of these herbs are very directly supportive for skin that gets activated, maybe dry. There is some of that essential oil in here. Let's see what we've got. Lemon verbena, rosemary. Oh, no, rosemary is a CO2. Lavender. What else we got in here? At least lavender essential oil, um, and the lemon verbena. So there is a little bit of that scent profile with both of these oils being added. So you know your body and you know your skin. If oils, essential oils, are activators, consider that. Now, having said that, with all of our products, we're very scrupulous when we're including essential oils because we keep them under a 3%, 1 to 3%, depending on what the oil is. We've gone through pretty extensive research as far as like what can be included in products to be safe for the skin. So this is a very long answer, but this is an oil that can be supportive for sensitive skin. Okay, so Carol's getting the link figured out. Thank you, Grace. Deborah says, I just joined the conversation. Do you refrigerate all your products? So what I was referring to is extending the shelf life of products. So all of our products have an expiration date. The expiration date will depend on the product. It's going to be printed on the bottom of your bottle. Most of them have approximately 2 years. Some have a little bit less, some have a little bit longer. But what I was sharing is that you can extend the life of your product past its expiration date if it's stored in the fridge. And so ideally what that would look like is you get it, you store it in the fridge right away. It probably isn't going to extend it quite as long if you get your product, it expires, November of 25, which at this point I don't think it would, but November of 25, and then you pop it in the fridge in November of 25. You could still get some more life out of it, but it's going to be a longer duration of time that you have if you pop it in the fridge more or less right away. Um, so I don't refrigerate all of my products by any means. Um, I tend to use our products obviously consistently, and so when I get a product, usually I'm able to go through it before it's going to, hit its expiration date. But you can, of course, store that in the oil. So let's see. Questions here. Lauren asked if there's going to be a Labor Day sale. Okay, so I'm gonna share some insight. I'm not going to tell you what your promo is for Labor Day, but I am going to invite you to our last consultation of the month. That's tomorrow. And Grace, if you want to link the consultation, because we do this, so August is our anniversary month, which was another reason why launching this product, the Divine Woman, is extra fun. On the consultations, which this of course is not a consultation, the group consultations, we are offering a big discount. We're offering 30%. And we're also offering a giveaway of two products, cleanser and oil. Now, you do have to be on the call to be able to be eligible for those promos. You have to be using the coupon code that you get on the consultations to use to, get those offerings. But I'd love to see you if that's a time frame that you can make. So Grace has put a link in the chat. You can register for that. But we've got, Labor Day sales. We're doing a live call actually. Oh, she shared this the day after Labor Day, which we'll be doing some promos, some giveaways, all that fun stuff. Speaking of, okay, let's do our first giveaway. Haha. So if you have not been on a live call of ours before, how we do the giveaways is we ask you a question, you put your answers into the chat, and then Grace selects a winner. Now we are only going to give away one of these because this is a product that we don't have a huge inventory of. And the question I want to know is based on everything you've heard about Moss Creek Farm, this farm that is Kevin and Anne-Marie's, where they grow the herbs that we use in the product. Are there other products you would like to see from Moss Creek Farm? And you can share that answer in the chat here. I'm going to be kind of going through and seeing what comes in. But are there other products from Moss Creek Farm that you would absolutely love to see? And I'd love to see that. A serum. A body oil. We had a what? Did we have a body oil, Grace? No, we had the body
We had a
scrub.
body scrub, yeah,
Yeah,
which
that was
I
a good one.
miss dearly.
I know. It
Uh,
was it was really good. That one, I don't think we could have recreated that one. So for reference, a couple years back, one of the Moss Creek Farm products that we launched was the body scrub, and it was this lemon sugar oil scrub. It was really divine. What happened though over time was that the sugar kind of settled to the bottom, and so it was like the actual application of the product got a little bit wild as you had it. I think if it was ever a product we were going to launch again, we would kind of reformulate the whole thing. But it was great. It was a good one. And I see what some of these others are. Okay. Body scrub, scalp conditioner, eye cream, body oil, um, body soap, body oil, everything. Is the Divine Elixir okay to use under the eyes? Yeah. So, I mean, with everything, I recommend even eye creams that you kind of hover around the orbital bone. None of the products really need to be brought either down to the lash line or up to the lash line. So this one is great in that spot. Damascus rose oil, a body wash, a hand scrub, a perfume. Ooh, concentrated elixir. Lisa, I'm curious if you can share like what would you like to see concentrated? Um, and I assume what you're referring to is kind of like something akin to the concentrated boosters, this set here. And if there's a particular herb or ingredient in this that you would like to see in a concentrated form. Gentle facial scrub, spray, hair oil. We have a hair, it's not an oil technically. What is this? A serum? Yeah, we have the hair serum. So, you might not be aware that this exists. This is a kind of balmy serum that is great for the roots, or not roots, ends of the hair. You can put it in the roots. I don't usually. I usually just bring it down on the ends and it helps keep my hair super soft. Pam would love the body scrub to return. Probably not anytime soon. A deodorant. Oh, awesome. Uh, perfumes. Let's see. Oh, Adrian, you've missed it the last 3 years. Now's a really great chance, especially with the 20% to get it before it sells out. Oh, the Love. Okay, Josie, I don't have it at my desk. So Love was a perfume oil. And we've had different iterations of Love since we had a Love body oil. Right now we have a Love kind of hair and body mist, a room spray, hair spray that you can spray into your hair or on your body that has that same scent profile. So although it's not the concentrated perfume oil that we used to have, you can still get that and get that same scent. So nail oil lip balm. Oh, these are still coming in, so I'm still going with them. A gentle facial scrub, a cream, penetrating body cream, oil I can only do at night because of clothing. I love the hair serum, me too. I feel like honestly, a lot of my hair growth is like from the hair serum. My hair's a little dirty today, but the like ends of it stay so much less like frizzy and dry. I put the hair serum on when my hair's wet. So you open it, it's a little balm. I push it backwards with my fingernail and then press it into the palm of my hand to heat it. And then when my hair is wet, I kind of just bring it on the ends here. You can do it when it's dry. If I'm wearing my hair back, like if I'm doing an intentional kind of like pulled back look, I'll use it to smooth flyaways. Um, but yeah, the hair serum is really, really something. Uh, Body lotion for extremely dry legs. Love the CBD serum. We do have the hemp serum now. The CBD serum has evolved into the hemp serum. Great, great, great. Um, Grace, I feel like the responses are slowing down if you feel like you've got somebody.
Yes, I do have a winner, which this one is just so exciting because I also love this product because I have sensitive skin. So I just get so excited to give this to someone because it's just so lovely. But our winner is Carol Callaghan. So yay, Carol. I'm so excited for you. I will put a link in the chat for you to just fill out quickly. It's just basic contact info, and I will email you after the call to get you your oil. But yay, Carol.
Yay! Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, Carol. I do want to share, I saw a couple of these responses come in that are actually products that are in the works. Now, Moss Creek Farm, we pretty much only launch one product a year from Moss Creek Farm. Could we launch more in the future? Could it grow? For sure. Right now, this is what we have, the facial oil that we launch year over year. But I did see some kind of responses come in about an eye oil or products for the eyes. We are working on an eye balm. which is going to be really, really nice. We're also working on a hair growth oil, growth serum, growth oil. I'm not sure how we'll name it, but it's a very rosemary rich product that is, you kind of rub into your roots that will help the growth of the hair. Both of these are products that are in the works. They are not, we don't have, I don't know a launch date for them yet. Um, let's see if there's anything else that we've kind of got on the move. We do have our facial cream already, the restorative facial cream. So a couple of people put a cream in here, and you may not be aware that we do have this one. This, of course, is not a Moss Creek Farm product, but this is an Annmarie skincare product, and is a great facial cream. We have the intention, though I don't think we've started the craft process for a richer facial cream. Because that one is very supple and moisturizing, but we wanted one that was even that much more like rich, rich, rich. Okay, let's see. At this point, I'm happy to just like open it up for Q&A. I feel like I have shared what I've got about the Divine Woman. But if there are no questions, we can be done early. There will be questions. I know you guys, there will be questions. I'm seeing what's in here. Okay, yes, growth hair product. Yeah, the launching or the inception of the hair growth product actually came from these calls. When we do these live calls, a lot of times we'll post in the chat like, what would you like to see, in kind of in nuanced fashion like that. And we have had a lot of feedback for the growth serum or oil, however we do name it. And the eye balm, sure, I'll elaborate with what I've got. It's going to be a richer, kind of balmier eye product than the serum or the cream that we've got now. Definitely going to be helpful for softening the eye area. I don't know a lot about the ingredients that we have. Usually at this point in the process, it's a lot of kind of like back and forth trial and error. We've got some that work, some that don't. So I don't know too much more about it, except for it's going to be this very moisturizing, yeah, balmy consistency to really soften. I can assume with the consistency, this is going to be one that's great for creasing around the eyes. So if you notice you get like the lines around the eyes, crow's feet, this likely will help. And then Kristen, is the eye balm a nighttime treatment, AM or PM? I don't know yet. I would assume, well, I don't want to assume. I don't have enough information to answer that question. It could be that it is just a nighttime one. It could be one that it is okay for morning and evening, but I don't know yet. That one is not quite finished in its final formulation. I will say, just like with every other product that we launch, we will have a call like this where we will deep dive into ingredients and how you use it and how it feels. We'll probably show you what it looks like, all of that. So. Okay, Lauren has asked, I love the rejuvenating facial oil. Can you compare this product to the Divine oil? Of course. So this is the rejuvenating. Of course, these are both going to come in the 30 milliliter package. Sizing is the same. Between the two of them, the rejuvenating facial oil is still going to have a more concentrated delivery of some potent anti-agers. So let me introduce this rejuvenating facial oil and then kind of close the loop with the Divine Woman. The rejuvenating facial oil is an oil that still starts with the organic jojoba, organic golden jojoba, this very unrefined jojoba. But we've added into this blend ingredients directly versus putting them into the oil and going through a steeping process. So the final creation with the rejuvenating facial oil is this very top shelf anti-aging oil. Consistency wise, they're quite similar. The Divine Woman's got a little bit more kind of richness and body to it than the rejuvenating. And I think that I feel safe naming that the Divine Woman is a little bit fresher feeling than the rejuvenating. Which I always want to add the caveat that our products are, everything's going to feel fresh. We make things in small batches in general. The difference is we continue to make the small batches, whereas this one, we make the one small batch. So We do have a pretty kind of fresh supply always. But like I said, with the Divine Woman, because we're getting these herbs directly from Annmarie, we completely skip the middleman process. So a lot of times, let me think of a good calendula, for example. When we're using calendula in another product like the aloe herb cleanser, when we get it from the supplier, it's been dehydrated or dried. It's still very potent, and we're able to reactivate that when we put that into the product. But when we are getting these herbs from Annmarie, it does not have to go through the drying process because we get to go kind of boom, boom. Now, she is sending these to Colorado. So there is a little bit of time that passes there. Our production facility is in Colorado. But yeah, it's just that much closer to the source. It's just that much closer to Annmarie. I feel like energetically, if you're someone who kind of taps into the energy of products or anything at all, I feel like you can really kind of feel the energy of Annmarie in the product. You can feel the energy of the land in the product here. So that's not necessarily quite as strong in the rejuvenating facial oil, although we are still using pure and fresh herbs. These are herbs that have kind of, yeah, we've worked with the middleman to get them here. So, I do think they're both great. I think if profound signs of anti-aging, if you're really working on changing the skin super quickly, the rejuvenating facial oil does have a particular kind of like gift, I guess. The crafting of this one is really intentional for changing the skin fast. So, um, yeah, not to put either down. I love both of them, but those are how they're different in some ways. Some of your products say 1 to 2 pumps, others say a generous amount. What is considered a generous amount versus 1 to 2 pumps? I might need some more direction here because depending on the product, that answer might be different. With the oils, how much you use at a time is, about 1 to 2 pumps. I don't want to use that one because I don't want to use it up. I'll just mime it. Um, you put your product in the palm of your hand. Usually 1 pump is pretty good for me. I mist my skin. I use my serum. So my skin's a little dampened. So I've got a little bit of slip on the skin already. And then I'm putting this into the palm of my hand. Kind of dot my cheeks, my forehead, my chin, my nose. Usually there's a little bit left, and so I'll kind of rub my hands together and then come in onto my kind of neck and chest. I don't go super heavy on my neck and my chest. I very much prefer the resurfacing facial cream on my neck and my chest because it absorbs quicker, but to each his own. So um, yeah, I hope that helps. If you have a product in front of you that shares generous amount, maybe let me know and I can help to answer that question more directly. Um, which one will help? Which one will help with firming and tightening the skin between the Divine Woman and the rejuvenating facial oil? They both can be helpful. You're going to have a faster experience with the rejuvenating facial oil. One of the ingredients that we use in the rejuvenating, again, this one is the rejuvenating, is mangango seed oil. And mangango seed oil is so helpful for so quickly providing this kind of smooth taut look to the skin. Yeah, when we launched this one, the amount of feedback I had for people who were writing in like the first couple weeks that their skin felt so much better, looked so much better, fine lines were smooth, etc. That was a common one. So I think that they're both going to help with this. The Divine Woman and the composition of Divine Woman is definitely, supporting this, but the rejuvenating facial oil is just like right to the point. Is the scent the same as the Divine Woods? Great question. And no. So, Annmarie Skincare, we have this really cute thing about like having similar named products. The Divine Woods is a body oil. The scent profile of the Divine Woods is going to smell earthier. It's a little bit kind of like almost more sultry and woodsy. Let me pull up the ingredients in that one so I can tell you right what we have in the Divine Woods. Where are you? Here you are. Yeah, that one, the scent of that one, for some reason, it feels like wintry for me, more wintry. We have, okay, amyris, sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh, pop-ups, amber, copaiba balsam. So it's like a woodsier kind of amorous, like darker scent profile in the Divine Woods. Now, the Divine Woman Elixir, this one, you get a lot more of this kind of like herbal scent with it. It just smells like, yeah, like a freshly made facial oil. Yeah, really, really nice. It's almost like it smells like grass, like fresh cut grass. It does not smell like grass, for the record, but that's what it feels like. And then you do get a little bit of this kind of like floral edge to it. So that's how I would describe the scents of both of those products. Um, I'm going back up to the questions. If I'm already using the activated night serum and wild fruit serum with anti-aging in the AM, how would this fit in? So the Divine Woman is your moisturizing step. If you've already got a moisturizer, which you likely do, this is either going to replace that or you can mix it with it. You could mix it with the anti-aging facial oil. Now, if you're taking the step to invest in this, I definitely recommend trying it at least several days using just that one and not mixing it. But you might find that you like the combo, and that's great too. So you want to use this in that moisturizing position in your routine. Um, coming back to Kristen's question. The hemp serum is pump a generous amount product. Interesting. Dab a generous amount. So just to qualify this further, what a generous amount for me is with any of the serums is around, 2 to 3 pumps. This one you use a little bit less of because it's so rich. You might do 1 to 2. I still use about 2 pumps of this when I use it. But yeah, I think when we're getting at use a generous amount, what we're kind of saying indirectly, is enough that the face is covered, not super saturated. So that might look different for you. That might be 1 pump, that might be 3 pumps. Um, yeah, okay, 2 pumps. Perfect. Okay, Grace and Carol are figuring things out. Grace, real quick, I want to ask, is there a cutoff with the coupon? Do we have a coupon cutoff?
It is tonight at midnight PST.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Glad I asked. So, we're coming up on the hour here. We still got time, but we are offering 20% off the Divine Woman Elixir. The coupon code is ASC Divine Live. ASC Divine Live. 20%. And that's going to be available until midnight tonight. So, midnight Pacific. So, if you're out of town, if you're somewhere else, you might do some time zone math where you are. What else do I want to talk about? I want to invite you all again to our final consultation of the month tomorrow. Grace, maybe you can do it. I can't find it in the chat. Just because the discounts are so high. Thank you, Allison. Discounts are big for this one, and we've got kind of special giveaways where we get to give away 2 products. And it's the last one of the month, then the promo changes for September. So if you can make it, we'd love to have you. Of course, we love interactive consultations, but you could also join on your phone with your camera off, get the discount code, type a question in, or just listen as we go through products. But either way, we would love to see you there. Last call for questions. What questions can we answer for you? Well, we still got a little bit of time if there's anything. Not much. We will be having a live event again September 2nd. This is our Labor Day kind of celebration. So we will have some cool promos, some great giveaways, all that happening throughout the call. So hopefully we'll see you then. I'm sure some of you will see you then. Grace, it will be applicable for the elixir. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So if that meets your needs a little bit better, we'll see you tomorrow. Uh, oh, Kristen, that's so great. Kristen is sharing that she's totally sold on the lip and cheek tint. This guy, I always hesitate to show mine because mine's so gnarly. I keep mine in my bag. The lip and the cheek tint. Just a lip and cheek product. Do we have an eyelash growing product? We don't have one, but we carry one from another brand. At least we used to, called Paparazzi. Grace, is that still a product we have in the favorite brands? She's not sure.
I want to say yes,
Yeah.
but let me look.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we'll confirm this. And I have used this one for a long time and have been able to get it through us. I don't know if we still have it on the site. But the brand, I'll put the brand in the chat in response to yours, is called.
Yes, it is still in our. It was actually, I didn't even realize this change had been made yet, but instead of the favorite brands marketplace, it's called the beauty shelf.
Oh,
And it
cool.
is, oh wait, that's the nail and cuticle oil. Oh
Oh,
yes, okay, we have both. So we also have the eyelash and brow serum.
sweet, 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 sweet. So yeah, we do have this on the site in on the beauty shelf page. So you can check that out. It's not Annmarie skincare brand, but anytime we're carrying a brand, highly, highly vetted. Okay, you've mentioned a lactic acid toner in the past. Is it coming? It's coming and it's coming fast. I think that's launching next month. Grace is nodding. Within the next month or two, we've got that on the horizon. So yeah, please join us for that one. That one is going, that's a game changer product. I really am excited for the launch of that one. The lactic acid toner. So that'll be in the next couple months. Josie's asked, should I use the activated night serum by itself? So the activated night serum is a serum. You do still want a moisturizer over the top of it. So it can, we don't recommend necessarily mixing serums together, but we do still want you to put some form of moisture over the top of that, which could be the Divine Woman, could be one of our other facial oils or our restorative facial cream. But yes, you do still want to put something over the top of the activated night serum. Also that hydrate, is that followed by moisturizer or mixed together? So I'm pretty sure we're talking about our hydrate booster. Hydrate is a boosting product. So you are going to mix this into something else. The hydrate, especially because this is a very aqueous consistency, works really well with the serums. So you would do, 2 to 3 pumps of your serum, do one-ish pump of the hydrate and mix that together and then apply that to the skin. Um, would the lip tint help heal consistent lip dryness and splits in the lip? So I would never claim that any of our products heal something, but you might be just as well suited with the lip balm. This is an untinted lip balm here. It's got this kind of like richness to it without being super thick or gloppy. That is really helpful and kind of stays on the lips a nice long time. So especially in the wintertime with consistent dryness or splitting, this can be helpful. It's also really nice overnight. So the lip tint, it does still have this kind of creamy, supportive consistency to it. But if you're really working on something gnarly, you might be just as well to utilize the lip balm. Um, okay, recommended for arm care, sun damage. So, arm care, sun damage. First of all, I would expect you're working on either a shoulder, up the arm. It's probably more pronounced on the left side than the right side because we drive cars and the sun comes in. There are a couple things you can do. Now, it kind of depends on how much you want to spend, really. One of the best products we offer is the citrus stem cell serum. So it could be that you opt for this product and morning and evening you are using it just on those darkened areas. Another thing that gets often overlooked is making sure to protect it, especially while you're working on it. So that could mean that you're going to get in the car, you put your sunloave on, and then you go. It could be that you have, I'm going to out myself as far as like how much of a skincare junkie I am. I keep a UPF piece of fabric in my car. And when I'm stuck in the sun, I'll like just drape it over my shoulder or kind of, tuck it into my shirt so that I'm protecting myself from UV damage while I'm driving. And so that's a thing that you could definitely do. Exfoliating is also helpful. And for the body, whoa, I really like the kaolin micro exfoliant. And so having this in the shower, doing it in those areas, once a day is probably pretty good. The skin of the body is a little bit thicker than the skin of the face. So daily is okay. But still listen to your body, make sure you're not getting dry, all of that. So that's what I would recommend just off the cuff here for that. Hopefully some of that's helpful. Oh, nice, Lauren. So Lauren's talking about the wild fruit serum. This one. This one is really nice for brightening the skin. It brightens in two ways because we've got both vitamin C and we've got these targeted brighteners. The citrus stem cell primarily just has the targeted brighteners. I do think for the body, the citrus stem cell does have a lower price point, so that could be, lend itself nicely for body application, which tends to go a lot faster. But if we were talking about sun damage on the face, this would probably be the one that I was recommending for you, the wild fruit serum. Great, great, great. Okay. Well, perfect. We've gone through our questions. We have made it the hour. I'm going to close it out because I want to make sure that our next consultation is available to start on time. But thank you so much. Happy shopping. I'd love to hear how you like the Divine Woman Elixir. And we will see you later. We'll see you tomorrow. Yay. Thanks, everyone.